Visualizing an appropriate tool of assessment. Learning starts perhaps before the birth and continues throughout our life. The principle of assessment, that is, assessment as learning, reminds that assessment and learning are inseparable in nature, and therefore we cannot talk the one without the other. Therefore, a teacher needs to use assessment tools which are appropriate to the learning experiences gained in the classroom. The learning experiences are different for different subjects and also within a single subject and the context. The learner has individual differences, and our assessment tool should also match with the learning styles and the other individual differences of the students. Therefore, it is pertinent for a prospective teacher to know what are the factors that need to be thought in advance before designing an assessment tool. Visualization is a process of bringing picture in our mind. There are so many tools and techniques one has gone through till today. Out of those tools, one may think that one or the other could be chosen for conducting the assessment activities, but simply choosing one test would not serve the purpose, as one's learners in the classroom are different from another teacher's learners in another classroom. The learners are different in different classrooms, though they may be of the same level, though they may be of the same area, but still they may have some differences. And simply choosing one tool used by someone mechanically would not serve the purpose. Therefore, a teacher needs to think in advance or bring the pictures of the students, the subject matter which is going to be assessed, and the classroom context to determine what tool would be suitable, and if required, a tool needs to be modified according to these three factors. Let us talk about the learners. There are learners who have individual differences. One is not like the other physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, environmentally. There may be differences. Even the number of students, the age of the students, the gender of the student, and so many factors may bring differences in them. A test conducted in a school which is not inclusive in nature cannot be used in a special school because the children require some special arrangements. Therefore, before choosing the test, a teacher should look into the learner's characteristics. The NEP 2020 has been advocating for making the classroom inclusive. That may have students who are academically brighter, average, and weaker. Some students may have specific learning disabilities. Some learners may be differently abled. They would not be able to be successful in a way if they are assessed like the others. Even intellectually underdeveloped children or below average students and students with high IQ might be in the same classroom. Therefore, in the new context, we need to think flexibility in not only providing learning experiences, but also in the way we conduct assessment in the classroom. Moving on to the next, that is the context that differs from schools to school and classroom to classroom. A test would be suitable provided it has adequate time to conduct. Similarly, factors such as class size, infrastructure, materials such as furniture, computers, stationery, tables, chairs, etc., human resources, weather conditions, technological aspects such as electricity, internet, etc., are also the factors that would determine the choice of an assessment tool. When we come to the contents, which are quantitatively larger or shorter. For a unit, a teacher may conduct a unit test, which may be either oral or written. But for the entire subject or a quarter of the contents, conducting a test for 40 minutes or 1 hour would not suffice the requirement of assessment. Therefore, the amount of contents should be thought in advance to determine what kind of assessment tool the teacher is going to use. We said earlier that the learning experiences provided in the classroom are different by different teachers, especially which are determined, the experiences are determined by the nature of the contents. So learning experiences are directly related to the characteristics of the contents or the nature of contents, we can say. Some requires thinking, some others feeling, and some others doing. Thus, learning experiences are falling under three major categories or domains, such as cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. In the schools, knowledge or the contents are packed in the form of packages called subjects, such as science, mathematics, language, social sciences, physical and health education, environmental studies, music, fine arts, performing arts, etc. These subjects are experienced by the students differently. Some subjects require the active participation of the students in group or in the laboratory or using some instruments and devices. Therefore, the contents are determining the type of assessment tool. We said earlier that in the 21st century, the classrooms are going to be inclusive. No child should be denied admission to any institution, regardless of their disabilities. Therefore, the teachers should know the diversity in the classroom and should not deprive their children from learning and also being assessed. That requires the teachers to bring the picture of the classroom, the learners, and the contents in advance to picturize again the suitable assessment tool.